Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Gold Split, hosted by Daddy P, not 3D, brought to you by Lzuruha. We're here with my good friend WhenChukAttacks. After a long-awaited interview that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about, we're finally here and doing it. What's going on tonight?
Oh man, just excited to finally get this done. We've been talking about it for so long. Just relaxing.
I know it's been one of the ones I've been most excited about. 'Cause, I've known you for a while, even before
Yeah.
LZH and everything like that. So it's been a long run there. So I was excited when you joined the team, and then you were going to AGDQ or SGDQ. It all just kind of lined up. Like, I really think we need to get him on YouTube and let people know who he really is and everything like that. So we'll start with that. I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started streaming 4.5 years ago, February of 2011. I've played games, gosh, since I was maybe four. Started out on the Atari, my uncle's Atari, and just moved on up and never really stopped. Um, yeah, I've loved streaming. Ever since I started, I've just been hooked on it and love the community. Love getting to know the viewers. Really enjoyed getting to meet several of them at SGDQ uh, just recently. That was a very cool thing. Some of them I'd known for almost 4 years or longer, and so it was cool just to hang out and
You're, now
share a common interest.
Oh, yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, meeting the people in real life. I mean, we've all done our Skype calls and our races and all that type of stuff, but it's really another thing altogether when you're sitting right next to somebody that either has been watching your chat for 4 years or you've talked to so many times. It's
Yeah.
it's I've had a couple of people that pass through. I live in Wisconsin, and a couple of people have passed through here that I play a lot of games with. One of them stopped by one. It was weird, but it was like, wow,
Oh
this is
yeah.
kind of cool. That type of thing.
Yeah, it just kind of breaks that fourth wall, and it's like, wow, you're actually sitting right next to me.
Right. You're one of the more unique speedrunners that I've talked to because your main focus generally isn't speedrunning. You are definitely a
Yeah.
casual stream, and you maintain the balance probably better than anybody I've met.
I try to. Yeah, I never really started speedrunning until about 2 years into my streaming. I was strictly casual. I'd try to play games fast here and there, but I'd never really grind them out or time them or anything like that. Um, I I guess it wasn't long after I started streaming. I watched a few just dedicated speedrunners. The main one being Cassius, Super Metroid runner. I'd watch him all the time. Just amazed at I'd never seen someone just play the same game over and over and over again. It seemed very foreign to me, but now I get it now. It was, yeah, maybe 2 years after I started that I was doing some races with Giga. You might know his name. He's also a Mario 3 runner. We just do some kind of casual 100% Mario 3 races, and both kind of got interested in upping our game at the same time. So we did some research and found Mitch's records on SDA, and
Mitch
decided
Flower
to.
Power, right?
Yep. That is the one, and we just kind of took it from there. We do races in the evenings and learn new strategies and things, and really stuck with it.
It's definitely amazing. I kind of came up the same way. I mean, you have a group of two, three, four, five people that all kind of start at the same skill level and just kind of move up from there. And it's I don't think with the camaraderie that there is, I don't think I could have gotten to where I am. With just running the game over and over, not talking to anyone, not dealing with anyone. I really think it's the community that drives that type of thing.
Yeah, it really helps to learn alongside with someone who's right at the same level as you. As you each push each other to improve, and it really helps.
Definitely. Now, Super Mario 3 is your primary
Yes.
mode of transportation in the speedrunning world. Where are you at on the leaderboard as of now? You do warpless is your
Worthless
thing, right?
and 100%. I'm
Okay,
currently fifth in both categories.
gotcha.
I
How far off of record are you?
um I was as high as second in Warpless not that long ago. I was 3 seconds off the record at that point, and now I believe Mitch has a 51:28, I think,
Jeez.
and I'm still sitting at a 51:53. I haven't excuse me. I haven't really. That kind of took the wind out of my sails because that was my 51:53 was a really solid run, except for a couple of Hammer Brothers that got in my way. If one of those hadn't wandered into my path, I would have had the record at that point. But yeah, when he kind of shattered it, and that I kind of migrated over to 100% for a while. As far as that record, I believe I'm about a minute and a half exactly off of that record.
Gotcha. Now, I primarily run Super Metroid, which is currently fairly optimized, I guess you could say, as far as I mean, they find some weird new thing. It seems like every other month. I mean, not as big as a new route or anything like that. Mario 3 categories, are those? Well, how far optimized would you say those are? I mean, is there going to be a major change at some point, or is it pretty much figured out for the most part?
I think it's pretty optimal at this point. Warpless is still a huge RNG fest.
Yeah.
Always will be. I think with those Hammer Brothers constantly getting in your way and the hands, 100% it's much less of that. You can get some Hammer Brothers stuck on top of each other running around for 10 seconds, and that's unlucky. But
right.
Other than that, it's really up to you to just get through the game. But as far as new tricks, I'd say the biggest breakthrough would be Mitch using Hammer Brothers strats, starting at the end of World 7 and taking it all the way to the end of the game from there. I don't think anyone else has really picked that up yet. He put a lot of time into that, and that's really how he got such a great Warpless record, was able to get good luck along with great execution at the end to see it through all the way.
Right, and that's really what it takes. And once it gets down to that certain point, everybody knows how to do the tricks. It's just a matter of who's really going to get the best run. I mean, you see so many games out there that are so RNG heavy that, you know, you see so many great players. Final Fantasy VII is a good example. I watch Carnage 64 all the time, and you know his run is so optimized, but he has 13 minutes to save on his Sum of Best. I mean, and it's all RNG. I mean, it's insane. Like, he'll go in there one night and he'll be 5 minutes behind, and then he'll be ahead, or he'll be way ahead, and then he'll just lose a run completely. It's like, wow, that's a little too swingy for me for an 8-hour game, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
So streaming, tell me about streaming. You're a popular streamer. You're partnered. You're living the dream as far as that goes.
Well,
I guess there's bigger dreams. You know, you still have the regular job like most of us do. That's always good. I mean, did you see streaming becoming a thing like it is for you now? I mean, with subscribers and some income coming in from that type of thing?
No, not at all. Not when I started. Back when I started, it was still Justin TV, and partners weren't even a thing yet. As far, I mean, maybe the tip top, 1% of streams could be partnered, but that wasn't really why anybody did it back then.
Right.
It was the newest thing. I mean, there just weren't many gaming streams at the time, or any kind of stream, and everybody was just excited to try it, and people loved to watch it just for what it was. No, never really saw it as a way to make a living or anything. It was just purely to I guess find other people with the same interest as me. And
right.
I kind of missed just having that experience of just playing a game with friends around you. As you get married, and you don't have as much time for your friends,
right,
and that sort of thing. And you get married, they get married, and you kind of go off in your own directions, and you don't have, you just can't get together and play a game. You just have too many things to do.
That's
So
100% right. I mean,
yeah, you know.
I have a friend that he used to come over every Tuesday, like right around this time, and we would do some sort of stream together, whether it's him watching me stream Super Metroid, or we've been doing the Mario stuff and all that stuff. Well, his wife just had her baby, and he hasn't been here in a month, and he probably won't be for quite a while.
Kids definitely they change everything.
But you're right. He can watch the stream, if I stream, and they can come in there and they can still interact and they can still feel like a part of your life and not necessarily have to be right in front of us.
So yeah, when I first started, it was just I wanted a way for my friends to be able to just hang out with me virtually, I guess, and we could still do what we used to enjoy doing. But then I ended up meeting so many new people. I feel like the channel, looking back now, I feel like the channel grew at a reasonable pace. Like I look at new channels now, and it's so hard for them to get any kind of foothold,
right,
viewer wise, just because it's such a big ocean now of streams, and it's so hard to get noticed. Whereas when I started, it was very small, and it didn't take very long at all to get a good base of about 20 people that came back regularly, and then it just took hold from there.
I think that's the thing. I think even new streamers know that there's this metaphorical line in streaming that once you hit 20, 25, 30 concurrent viewers, depending on what you're playing, obviously, that you're going to hit this magical section where you're going to continue to grow, and the growth is going to be a lot faster than it was. But like you said, with the ocean as big as it is now, it's really hard. I mean, you don't see that kind of growth. You turn on a stream of, I mean, anything now. Super Metroid's always my example, but I'm sure there's probably 12 people streaming Super Metroid right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and most of them are going to be good, and they're going to be high end. Why do people want to watch you versus something else? Which is why I've always found your stream interesting, is that you're varied enough, your variety stream is enough to draw in from almost any locale. I mean, you have the speedrunning, you have flashback games, you have the game cleaning stuff, you have I want to be the guy type stuff. You have a lot of different sectors to your stream that are awesome. I mean, I think that's why you are where you are.
Yeah, we definitely reach a pretty big audience, just of different genres. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You bring up the "I want to be the guy" games. That definitely has its own very dedicated community.
Oh yeah.
And if I play a guy game, then I get a lot of those guys in to watch and chat. But and I know they won't be there for any other games, but that's okay. I expect that, and and I'm the same way. If people say they come for the stream or not for the game, well, I don't think that's always true. I mean, it's a combination.
I think it is. I think it depends on which streamer it is. That I have all of my favorite streamers, and there's some that I won't watch unless they are playing what I started watching them for.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like that. Next big subject, SGDQ.
Yes.
How was it? I mean, that was your first time going, right?
Yeah. It was a very cool experience. I'm very glad I went.
Very nervous.
Oh my gosh. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, it was that whole day. I woke up that morning nervous, and it just got worse until it was over. I'm serious.
So, I mean, having done thousands of Mario 3 runs, when you sat down, you put the controller in your hand, was it just like, oh my gosh, what I mean, what was going through your head at that point?
Just get through 1-1 without dying. I think that was the biggest goal. And after that, it was just keeping it together.
Right.
And actually, I nailed 1-1, and then I fell apart in 1-2. I mean, not fall apart, but I lost speed and just kind of hobbled through it. But then we pulled it together after that.
Yeah, it was an awesome race. It was one of my favorite things to watch. It was great commentary, good gameplay. I mean, it was...
Yeah, the commentary. Shout-outs to Glib and Sky for nailing that. I thought it was a great
very,
job.
very good. It's unfortunate that in a lot of I was just watching somebody discussing why AGDQ works, and their main reason for it is that it's dumbed down speedrunning enough for the common person to be able to relate to it and understand it.
Yeah.
But I think you have to maintain a level of integrity and knowing your craft type of stuff in order to come off as you know what you're doing. I mean, you don't want to be on there
Yeah,
and
definitely.
look like you have no idea what you're talking about, obviously. But
Sure.
so, is there plans to do more of those? Is that going to be a again type thing?
I was pretty fortunate to be able to go to that for an entire week. My amazing wife stayed back with our daughter and had a very strenuous week because of it. So I owe her a lot for that. AGDQ is feasible to drive.
Close to you, isn't
Drive
it?
to.
DC, I think.
Yeah, it's about 7
And
hours.
you're in North Carolina somewhere, I think, right?
Yeah, southern North Carolina. So it is about 7 hours or so.
That's right around my line of do I want to drive that far or not type of thing. But well, we
I'd like
talk
to
a
do a
lot in your
weekend.
stream. There's one thing that just kind of came up recently that I wanted to ask your opinion about. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter. It's the whole debate of basically selling out. Yeah, I don't know if you kind of heard a little bit about that. There was a speedrunner that decided he wanted to give lessons in his particular game, which I believe was Majora's Mask, $20 an hour type of. How do you feel about all that? There's probably half and half that I've read on either side of this.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty good arguments that in his defense that it's it takes a lot of time to master a game, especially a game of that scope. And you combine that with a full-time job and anything else, and it's like, how do I find time to put into this? And some people do really well with one-on-one teaching. They can just ask questions and get immediate responses just directly to them. They can get things explained in a way that they can understand better, and and for a teacher to give your time like that, that's worth something, especially if as much as they've got on their plate. Is that a good rate? I don't know. I mean, no one's tried it before, so I guess the supply and demand will tell the tale. If people are willing to pay it, then I guess that's a good rate.
That's a really good answer. I mean, I think that's really where it stands. Is, are people going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, if people don't think it's worth it, they won't pay it, and he won't make any money, and that's that, and that's how it works.
I suppose it's like anything else.
Yeah, like any good or service that you're offering.
So, we've talked about SGDQ. We've talked about your start. We've talked about lots of different things. What does the future hold for you? Is Mario 3 still going to be a main focus of speedrunning? Is there any new hidden games on the horizon that we maybe could look forward to seeing speedruns of?
Mario 3 is definitely going to take a back burner. I put a good 3 years into it, and it kind of reached that point where it stopped being fun, and I put it down for a good couple of weeks before SGDQ just to kind of get my my interest back, and that usually helps a lot. By the way, just a couple weeks off, and you kind of forget the little mistakes that you've worked into your habits,
right?
And it tends to work out well. But yeah, that's being put away for a while. I might join a few races here and there, but you won't see me doing any kind of attempts or anything. Lately, my new thing has been Zelda 1.
I can't believe I forgot about that. I've been watching those like crazy too.
Yeah. Lack Attack is hosting Zelda 1 any% no up A tournaments, and I decided to join that and have been learning that. My best is now 38.48, which I feel like that's after 3 days of learning and running So
And
I feel
that's
like
a decent time. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
really good time.
So now I'm seated 28th, I think, now out of 71. So I can't be upset with that. I can still bring it lower though, and I plan to put a little more focus into that here soon. And I recently did the Zelda randomizer race, the big-ish one that was on Sunday. That was my first one, and that was an experience.
Yeah, that looked. I watched a couple minutes of that, and that looked a bit scary. This-
It is a thing, and there's so many different modes on it. You can, gosh, there's so many different ways to play. Um, yeah, it's a unique challenge, but any fan of Zelda should try it. It's a lot of fun, and I plan on doing more of those races in the future too.
we definitely look forward to watching that. Well, let's. Where can the people find you? I know you're on Twitch. You're on Twitter. I think they're both WhenChukAttacks. Is that correct? I don't.
Yes, yep, that is right. I also have a separate channel that I do. It's pretty much just for races or attempts, just for speedrunning. It's twitch.tv/WhenChukRaces. I know, creative. Um, but the main difference is I don't use a camera or a microphone on that channel. It's just kind of like I'm not trying to entertain at that point. I'm just trying to record runs and or stream races. And if people want to watch, they can come watch and chat. I didn't want to do that on my main channel because it kind of had an expectation of, okay, when he streams here, he's going to have a camera and a microphone, and it's going to be a lot of chat interaction. And I was afraid that if I did this sort of thing with no camera, no mic, very little chat interaction, it might rub people the wrong way. Say, oh, okay, this is what he's about now. So I made a whole separate channel for it. I advertised that channel on my main channel and say, hey, if you want to see this, you can come here. So I thought that was a good decision. I still think it is.
Well, definitely. I mean, and people are generally going to follow both channels, and kind of watch what they want to watch. I mean, as people are
Yeah.
going to do, they're gonna find you if if you are on there. Well, that's pretty much the end for us. Anybody you want to shout out to? Oh, he just put one of his emotes right on the camera. Did you guys see that? Make sure you notate that.
That's right. That's
one of
right.
the famous emotes, the Chuk cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody you want to shout out to? This is the time. Go ahead.
Oh, well, first and foremost, my amazing wife, Allie, over there on the couch. Hi. For being really supportive and very patient with me, putting up with my hobbies that can be time consuming. I know. And but no, she's awesome. I appreciate everything she does. And just everybody in the Mario 3 community that has pushed me to be the very best I can at that. Especially lately, people like Cujo. Dude's awesome. He's so good, and and he's really pushed me to get better. All my viewers, they're the best. Some of them have been, like I said, sticking around since the very beginning, 4.5 years ago, and that's really amazing to me. I don't take them for granted. They really are the best. And that's it. I think I appreciate everything.
Well, that is awesome to hear. You're one of the good guys, that's for sure. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for us. This has been the Gold Split with WhenChukAttacks. You know where to find him, twitch.tv/WhenChukAttacks or WhenChukRaces when he is speedrunning generally. That's it for us. You'll find this up on YouTube. Give us a like, comment, a subscribe, and that's that. Good night, everybody.
See you later.